you're a parent, you know that feeling, right? You look over, you see your teen just completely lost in their phone, and you wonder, is this okay? Is this healthy? It's a huge worry for so many of us, and honestly, it can feel like you're handling it all alone, but you're not. Today, we're going to turn that anxiety into a real, practical action plan. We're going to give you the tools you need to feel confident navigating your teen's digital world. Okay, let's get into it.
So let's just start with the big question, the one that's probably been nagging at you for a while. Is my child actually addicted to their phone? Now, I know addiction is a really strong word, but it cuts right to the heart of that worry we feel when we see our kids consistently choosing a screen over, well, everything else.
Okay, so let's be super clear here. Cell phone addiction isn't some official diagnosis you're going to find in a medical handbook, but as a way for us parents to understand what's happening, it's a perfect description of a pattern we're seeing more and more. This compulsive, excessive reliance on a phone that starts causing real negative effects in their life. We're not just talking about using it a lot, we're talking about a dependency that's getting in the way.
So what's the difference between normal teen behavior and a real problem? I mean, where is that line? How do you know when it's been crossed? Let's break down the specific warning signs, the physical, the behavioral, and the emotional clues that tell you it's time to start paying much closer attention.
And this is absolutely crucial to remember. Your kid being cranky one time when you ask for their phone doesn't mean they're addicted. What we're looking for here is a consistent pattern where you see several of these signs showing up together, day in and day out. That's your real red flag.
Let's start with the physical stuff, because the toll it takes on their bodies is very, very real. You know that hunched over posture, what people call tech neck? That's not just a bad habit. It leads to actual physical problems, like constant eye strain, nagging headaches, and that persistent neck and back pain that just doesn't seem to go away. You'll also see big changes in their behavior. Are they suddenly not interested in the hobbies or sports they used to love? Have their grades started to slip, or are they just not focusing on schoolwork? A huge one is when their online friends consistently win out over hanging with family or friends in real life. Or maybe they get super defensive and secretive when you ask what they're doing on their phone.
And then you get the emotional signs, which, frankly, can look a lot like withdrawal. You might notice they get genuinely antsy or anxious if they don't have their phone. A simple request like, hey, put your phone away at the dinner table, might trigger a surprisingly irritable or angry response. And their sleep, it can get completely wrecked by that need to wake up and check notifications, robbing their growing brain of the rest it desperately needs.
Recognizing the signs is step one, for sure. But to really grasp the urgency here, we have to look at the very real and sometimes hidden impacts this over-reliance is having on their development, their health, and even their safety.
This really drives the point home, doesn't it? This isn't a problem that stays in its own little box. Problematic phone use creates a domino effect that touches every single part of a teen's life. It can drag down their grades, get in the way of developing crucial social skills, and really hurt their mental well-being, all while their physical health and sleep are taking a hit.
And this gets to one of the biggest fears for any parent. It's a pretty simple and scary equation. The more unsupervised time they spend online, the more they're exposed to some significant dangers. The risk of cyberbullying, of being targeted by predators, or just stumbling across stuff they're not ready to see, it all goes up. And the research is pretty clear on this, consistently pointing to these major health risks. Their social skills don't develop as well because they're missing out on the crucial practice of reading body language and tone of voice. Their sleep gets messed up by the blue light and that constant buzz of notifications. And those physical problems we talked about, they can set them up for a lifetime of chronic pain.
Okay, I know that seeing all these risks laid out can be really overwhelming, but I want you to hear this loud and clear. You are not powerless. In fact, you are the most important person in this whole equation. So let's shift from the problem to the solution. Let's walk through a clear 3-step action plan to help your child build a much healthier relationship with technology.
The whole approach here is about being supportive and proactive, not angry and reactive. It really boils down to these 3 pillars. First, starting open, honest conversations. Second, setting clear and consistent boundaries. And third, and this might be the toughest one, modeling the healthy habits you want them to have.
For that first step, the conversation, your main goal isn't to lecture, it's to listen. Seriously, get curious. Ask questions like, hey, what do you love about that game? Or, help me understand why it's so important to be available for your friends 24/7. When you listen without judging, you build the trust you absolutely need to solve this thing together.
Now, when it's time to set boundaries, your 2 best friends are clarity and consistency. The key is to try and create these rules with them so they feel some ownership. A fantastic place to start is with simple non-negotiable rules like no phones in bedrooms overnight and we all put our devices away during meals. These create tech-free zones that protect sleep and family time.
But remember, this can't just be about taking something away. That strategy almost never works in the long run. The real goal is to add something better. It's about proactively filling that space with a more balanced, engaging, and just plain more fun offline life.
I love how this slide just lays out the trade-off we're trying to make. We want to consciously shift the balance here. We're swapping out a little bit of that endless scrolling for some real laugh-out-loud time with friends. We're trading passive digital entertainment for the real feeling of learning a new chord on the guitar or kicking a soccer ball. And we're replacing the pressure of social media with the actual joy of being present with family.
So what does that actually look like? Well, here are some great ideas. But the secret isn't just to find any activity. It's to find activities that scratch the same itch their phone does, that need for connection, for feeling good at something, for just having fun. A sports team gives them real-time social connection. Learning an instrument gives them a sense of mastery. These are the things that build real-world confidence that you just can't get from likes on a screen.
So if there's just one thing you take away from all this, let it be this. You can absolutely shift from feeling worried and helpless to feeling empowered and confident. By understanding what to look for, talking with them, setting some rules together, and actively building a richer offline life, you can guide your teen toward a future where technology is a tool they use, not the other way around.
So let's end with this question. You don't have to fix everything overnight. In fact, you shouldn't even try. But what is one small, totally doable change that your family can agree on? And start today. Maybe it's just making the dinner table a phone-free zone. Maybe it's a 20-minute walk after school, no devices allowed. That one small step, that's the beginning of everything.